Hey, it's Aaron, and today we're going to do the quick news recap for the week of November 17 through the 23rd, which is today. A lot of stuff happened this week. The LA Auto Show opened this week, and in fact, I think it opened this weekend to the public, but the press day was yesterday, so there were a lot of unveils there. And then just a lot of really cool stuff. You can see our title photo here. That's towards the end of our roundup here, but that is a super cool car. If you don't recognize it, that's a XJS from Jaguar, but it's not a Jaguar car. We'll get into that when we get to that news item. So let's start out with Hyundai. There's a lot of Hyundai and Kia in today's news, or in this week's news. The new Elantra N TCR edition unveiled. This is kind of the race-inspired version of the Elantra. So pretty cool, a lot of performance enhancements. You see the giant wing on the back and a few other things. That's a really cool one. If you want full details, you can check out the Car News Cafe news roundup right there and click on that link. It'll take you to the press release with all the details in it. General Motors broke a record for the largest hands-free caravan. So they took a caravan of General Motors vehicles, different brands under GM's blanket, I guess, and went across the I forget the name of the bridge. It's the Bay Bridge, San Francisco to Oakland, that bridge, and took a huge caravan of their cars across that, all of them driving hands-free. So pretty neat there. Just kind of a next kind of stepping stone towards fully automated driving. Nissan unveiled their new Armada about 2 weeks ago, I want to say. I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago in our news roundup. Now they've announced pricing and also that there will be a Pro 4X trim. This is the first time they've had the Pro 4X off-road trim on the Armada. So that's pretty awesome. Watch closely because I have a Infiniti QX80 review coming, and that and the Armada are basically the same vehicle. So just keep an eye out for that. Toyota added 30 megawatts of solar at their Alabama plant. This will take care of about 70% of the power needs at that plant. This is pretty neat because it's not only is it a very large solar array, but it's in partnership with the local power utility. So pretty neat there. Yamaha has unveiled this new generation of their electric outboard motor. This is a ready for production version. So these will be in production soon. This is the Harmo, which is an electric outboard. So it combines steering and speed for independently for everything, because everything is electrically driven. So its biggest innovation is it will greatly improve turning radius, and then of course there's no fuel being burned, there's no oil being dropped in the water, none of that. So very cool there. It'll be cool to see these on the market. Volkswagen has announced a new CEO specifically for Volkswagen Group America. So before they had Pablo Desi, who was their he was the CEO previously. He's moved up in the Volkswagen Group to the International Volkswagen Group, and replacing him will be Kjell Gruner, who is he's been at Volkswagen for quite a while, and will be taking over that role somewhere around the first of the year in 2025. Now, this is really cool. So if you're looking at the photos of this cam, this looks like a Porsche 911 Carrera, which it is. That's what it's based on. It's built under license. This is a lightweight Cam 912C. It's the first one of being that has been made and to ship to the U.S. has arrived to a customer in Florida. This is a very cool little car. It only weighs 750 kilograms, which I'm not going to do the math off my here. I know. Hey Google, how many pounds is 750 kilograms?
750 kilograms is 1,653.467 pounds.
So there you go, 1,653 pounds and 185 horsepower powering that. If you do that power to weight, that's roughly equivalent to roughly equivalent to the, let's see, Chevy. There you go. So roughly equivalent to a Corvette. That's pretty amazing. This is a very lightweight car. It is a sort of quasi race car, but it is street legal. Pretty neat. This is a company out of Hungary that's making these. Very cool. Stellantis. They're still alive and kicking. They've announced their new STLA frame for multi-energy production, which is a lot of big words that just kind of basically mean here's a big framework, or I don't know what you would call it, chassis. There we go. Here's a big modular chassis made for large body-on-frame full-size vehicles. This can be powered by anything. It is made to be compatible with electrics, hybrids, hydrogen, plug-in, combustion engines, whatever. And it's built specifically for some light duty, but mostly for heavy duty vehicles. So you'll see this on Ram trucks. You'll see this on maybe a very large Jeep. You will see this in the commercial division of Ram truck. That's kind of where this is aiming. You'll see it on like the ProMaster vans, things like that. So that's kind of where this platform is going. But it's pretty neat, and it's very modular. It's a very well designed setup. And they can use it internationally, which is kind of the point. Genesis, the first of our Hyundai Kia stuff. Genesis has unveiled a newly redesigned GV70. This is both a gasoline hybrid and the electric version. I believe they are dropping the hybrid, but I'm not 100% sure on that. They didn't say. What they did say is that they've newly redesigned the GV70, and that all of its models will look like this now. It's a good design. It's very elegant. Genesis hits the nail on the head every time, so this is just another one of those. Same old, but in a really good way. Also, Genesis is opening a new design studio in California. This will be in El Segundo. This is their first time, and it will be their 10th anniversary next year. So this kind of coincides with that. But this will be their North American design studio, specifically to either retool or design vehicles for this market. So that's pretty neat. Now, our headline. So that big photo at the beginning is this car. This is the TWR Supercat. It's a V12 Super GT. It was unveiled in London. It is based on the Jaguar XJS, but it has a steel and carbon monocoque, so it's not just a steel. And then it has a little more engine power, puts out 660 braking horse. It's a 5.6 liter V12. It is a beautiful design, and of course it's going to be a low production supercar, but it is very, very neat. So TWR has a kind of a legendary name in racing. All right, more Stellantis news. Chrysler has unveiled a new version of the Pacifica. This is called the FAV edition, or FAVE, means Family Adventure Vehicle. Basically, it's a bunch of add-ons to the Chrysler Pacifica. You can get it with either the gas engine in front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, or in the plug-in hybrid model. But this is basically a package add-on that adds that Thule roof storage container and a few other things on the inside, the entertainment system, a bunch of other stuff. But it's basically aimed towards family road trips. That's kind of what this is built for. So pretty neat. I don't know how many of these they're going to sell, but it's definitely a great idea. So yeah, pretty cool there. I hopefully will get to drive one of these early next year. Hyundai again. This time they've added the Ioniq 9. This is a 3-row electric SUV. If you remember the EV9 from Kia, this is the same one, same platform. So basically the same vehicle in most, as far as mechanics go, but with a very different design. You can see here it's a polarizing design, very square, clipped off back, similar to like the old Volvo wagons, things like that. But really neat design and very unique, which is kind of the point. And then speaking of the EV9, Kia debuted a new GT model for the EV9. So the EV9 came out this year, and now they have for this three-row, they have a GT model which does 0 to 60 in 4.3 seconds and produces 501 horsepower. It's dual motor, so very neat. If you want a really, really fast family SUV, there you go. Mostly it's just the green button. I love the green button on Kias. Okay, Volkswagen. Volkswagen has debuted a brand new Tiguan. So this is a new version of the Tiguan coming for 2025. It still has a 2-liter turbo 4, but it has a completely different exterior. Gets a little bit of power boost to the engine for the drivetrain, and interior changes. Lots of upgrades on this that were much needed. And in Volkswagen's interiors are getting less and less of that Teutonic board design where function makes form. They're getting a little more, Americanized, comfortable, I think is the word that really matters. So there you go. More from Kia. A revamped EV6. So the EV6 came out about 3 years ago. It's a wagon-style crossover electric vehicle. One of my favorites, actually. And now it's been refreshed. So they changed the interior a little bit, especially with the infotainment setup. It's a little more elegant up there. And then the body styling changes just a little. You'll see the lower lip of the car in front looks a little bit different, and then around back you have a different departure going on in the back, so it's a little more kind of stylish, speedy looking too. Very nicely done. More Kia, the new Sportage. This was the 2026 model, so we won't see it for about a year, 6, 7, probably 7 or 8 months when this will start hitting showrooms. But the new Sportage is completely redone. New infotainment to go along. Their one-screen infotainment they've been doing. It's going to that. Hadn't had it before. Lots of new technology upgrades, especially for driver assistance and safety. And there will be some hybrid models. There may be a fully electric. I don't know yet. They haven't said. That will probably be its own announcement later down the road, but there will be hybrid models, as there have been. And of course, it's so far away, there's not a whole ton of detail in terms of pricing, MPGs, or any of that. So that will be coming over the next year. And that's it. Loved it. All right, that's this week's news roundup. Lots of stuff going on. The LA Auto Show was fairly busy this year for auto shows, now that they're kind of starting to die as far as press goes. They're way more about the consumer now, which is a good thing, I think. So, yep, that's it. That's this week's news. We'll get you again next week. Talk to you again soon.